Hello, I'm Graham Horton and welcome to this video. Now this is a precursor to number 5 in a series of tutorials I'm running for seniors or new users to smartphone photography. I'll be looking at taking some close-up photography with the smartphone, but I wanted to alert you to an issue that you might experience with your iPhone model. If you've got a Samsung Galaxy or you've got a Google Pixel, you don't experience this, but this problem has been with Apple phones since the introduction of the Pro camera series. It affects the telephoto lens more than you would expect, and we're all probably aware of the switch from wide to ultralight when you go into close-up photography, but there is an issue when you're using the telephoto lens at closer distances than the closest focal point of that telephoto lens, that the camera again switches back into the wide lens and then applies digital zoom to give you the same magnification. Of course, that means a low resolution image. You're cropping into that 48 megapixel sensor to give you the same pixel dimensions as you do from the telephoto at 12 megapixel, but you are losing resolution. In my photographic blog newsletter for this month, I've got a full description of how this happens and with some examples, and I'll put some examples in this video to show you the case. So let's just have a look at, first of all, the cameras. You see, you've got the iPhone. This one is the 16 Pro, but it really doesn't matter whether it's any of the other cameras with two lenses. So any of the ranges which have got the normal and a telephoto lens would show this problem. Got the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the Pixel 9 XL. So none of these will exhibit this problem with a telephoto lens. It's only with the Apple devices that you'll notice this problem. Let's first of all look at the Apple device in its standard configuration. So I'm going to go into the ×1 lens at 24 millimeters, and you can see at that distance we have an image, and as I lower the camera down, it will get to a point where it will switch from that wide, the normal wide lens to the ultra wide lens. There it is, and you notice we get a flower icon appear on the left hand side. That means it's gone into the ultra wide lens and again apply digital zoom to give you the same field of view. If I just pull it back up slightly, you can see the flower icon goes, and that's gone back to the wide lens. And I drop down a little bit, the flower icon comes in, and again it's gone to the ultra wide lens. You can stop it doing that by just tapping that little flower icon, and that puts a line through it, and now it will always stay in the normal lens, but you notice it will go out of focus because that lens can't focus down to that distance. So that is the problem with the normal lens and the ultra-wide lens, and that's very well documented, and the various fixes for that. But it's simple enough just to click that flower icon if you want to stop that doing that. You can do it in the setup as well to stop it switching into the macro mode. But the issue for me is with the telephoto lens. To show the effect, what I've done here is to put an orange filter over the place where we would normally have the normal lens. So the telephoto and ultra-wide lens will still go through unabridged, but the normal lens will have an orange filter. So what I was doing was put that filter over the normal lens and then recording the view through the telephoto lens, and you can see at one point we switch from the telephoto lens back to the normal lens and you end up with an orange picture. So let me just try and put that in place now. We'll switch to the 5x telephoto camera, and you can see it's now switched to the wide lens because it can't focus on that distance of about 1.5 meters. But if I focus further away, you can see we've now gone to the telephoto lens. But when I come back into a closer shot, the camera switches over to the wide lens again. So that means if you are taking pictures with a telephoto lens, and I like to use that telephoto lens for pictures of flowers where I can throw the background out of focus by using that short distance to the subject but a further distance to the background, Sometimes you'll find you're getting a very low resolution image and you're wondering why, and that is the reason the camera switched to the wide lens and applied a digital zoom to give you that same field of view. So you're not using the optical characteristics of that 5x lens with its nice bokeh and that nice depth of field effect you're getting. So be aware that when you're using that 5x lens, if you at a distance closer than the minimum focus distance, which is about 1.5 meters, I reckon, with this camera, you will be switching back to the wide lens and getting that low resolution shot. So that's what I wanted to bring your attention to today. It's something that Apple have never had an icon on the screen to show you have gone back to the wide lens. To overcome that, I normally would use a third-party camera app, so you can switch to the 5x lens and it will not switch out of that lens under any situation. It's up to you to make sure that you're in focus. So this is the third-party app that I like to use. It's called Halide, and again it's available from the App Store. On the bottom right hand of the screen you can see the lens switching option here, so the super wide lens, the normal lens and ×5 lens. You notice that 5 lens will not focus at that distance. The 0.5 will focus all the way down to a couple of centimeters away, and it won't switch. If I go into ×1, that's the ×1, it will focus up to there, but beyond that point obviously it won't focus. It's up to you to make sure that you're in focus if you're going to take that shot. So that is the app that I normally use for my normal photography. Got plenty of features. Have a look at it if you want in the App Store, whether it's for you. So that is Halide. Well, that's what I wanted to bring to your attention in today's video. The problem with that 5x telephoto lens, or the 3x telephoto lens if you're using the earlier models of the iPhone series. In my next video for seniors or new users of smartphone photography, we'll be looking at some tabletop photography, and I'll be just using simple window light and a reflector to balance out the shadows created by the window on the side. I'll show you how to set up the camera, how to get the best focus results, and some of the tricks for processing to get the best out of those images. So if you've not already subscribed to the channel, why not hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to be advised when I do upload that in the next series of these videos. So until the next video, thanks very much for watching. Please do take care, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye for now.